When Jérémy Doku arrived at Manchester City, many saw him as just another pacey winger for the squad. But then came the game against Liverpool. One-on-one, he was a nightmare.
Doku. Oh, he hit that beautifully. He is having a day of days.
He didn't just beat his man, he pulled the entire defensive shape apart, completing a record number of successful dribbles and making elite defenders look lost.
The man of the match for Manchester City was Jérémy Doku. He was superb.
Jérémy Doku for sure was the man of the match. You have to let these players express themselves a little bit more. You have to give them a little bit more freedom to play, and he is just playing with a ton of freedom. 7 of 8 successful dribbles is incredible because of what he brings also on these dribbles. They're threatening dribbles. They're not dribbles going sideways and backwards. These are dribbles where he's actually hurting Liverpool, and he made the difference tonight.
That match wasn't an outlier. It was a statement. It was the moment the Premier League realized that Pep Guardiola had unleashed a new kind of weapon, one whose chaos and directness was the perfect foil to City's controlled system. Stay tuned. How do you measure if a winger is truly feared? While defenders can give you their opinion after the match, the data provides a much clearer, more objective picture. To understand Doku's unique impact, we have to look past the highlight reels and go directly into the raw numbers that define Europe's elite attackers. When we do, the data reveals something startling. Across Europe's top leagues, Doku consistently posts some of the highest numbers for successful take-ons and progressive carries per 90 minutes. He doesn't just attempt to dribble, he succeeds at a rate that sets him apart from his peers. After one early performance against West Ham, Pep Guardiola praised him as a proper winger, recognizing immediately the directness that the stats would later confirm. That performance against Liverpool, where he completed a record 8 to 9 successful dribbles, was the most ever recorded against that club, and the most by any player in a Premier League game in over 2 years. This single game was a statistical signature of his entire season, where he led the league in both dribbles and progressive carries per 90 minutes.
Doku is the best I've seen him in a Man City
Brilliant,
shirt.
wasn't he?
He was confident, he was taking people on, decision-making was really good, he was defending when he needed to. I just thought for him, that was a statement performance, because we've been waiting for it. We've had flashes where he's been good, but everything he did today was top-notch.
These aren't just flashy moves, they're quantifiable actions that drive the ball forward and break defensive lines. This becomes even clearer when you compare his numbers directly against other top-tier wingers who often dominate the headlines like Vinicius Jr., Bukayo Saka, Kvaratskhelia, and Rafael Leao. When you look at the frequency of his dribbling attempts combined with his high success rate, a verifiable gap appears. On screen, you can see how his volume of successful take-ons creates a distinct statistical profile. He's not just part of the elite group, he occupies his own space within it. This constant successful pressure, it's the foundation of why he creates so many tactical problems for defenses. What the statistics prove is that Doku is not simply one of the most dangerous dribblers in the game. He is, by the numbers, the most consistently active and successful in Europe right now. This isn't an opinion, it's a conclusion drawn from data across an entire season.
Jérémy Doku is the best winger in the world, bro. The best dribbler in the... No, okay, not winger. I wouldn't say winger. But dribbler, Jérémy Doku is the best dribbler in the world, by far.
So, if the numbers are this definitive, why doesn't his name carry the same weight as others? The answer lies in how these statistics translate directly into tactical chaos on the pitch. A successful dribble is just one statistic, but Jérémy Doku's real value is found in how a single run can break down a team's entire defensive plan. Before he arrived, Manchester City's attack often used inverted wingers, like Jack Grealish. This approach was built on keeping possession, with the winger cutting inside to link up play. While this method helped City control the game's tempo, it could also slow down the attack. Against teams that sat back in a compact low-block defense, this predictability, it made it easier for opponents to get organized and shut down scoring chances. City often struggled to find that direct spark needed to unlock these stubborn defenses. Doku introduces a completely different problem. By staying wide near the touchline and consistently running directly at his man, he forces the opposing fullback into a no-win situation. The defender has to make a choice. Either he engages Doku and risks getting isolated in a one-on-one duel he is likely to lose, or he drops off, surrendering valuable territory and allowing Doku to build up speed. This creates a constant tactical headache.
Like he's a centre-half nightmare because he's too small, too powerful and small and quick all at the same time, and wants the 1v1. Nah. And can kick and run. No, I don't want that.
Doku's explosive acceleration, it means he can burst past a defender on the outside for a cross, or suddenly cut inside before any defensive support can arrive. This constant threat pulls the entire defensive shape out of position.
But to have a winger, have go and attack fullback, even a fullback can support for the winger opponent. And I dribble to you, go to my line. It's a chance. And how many times has done it? A lot, not just one, a lot. That's why I said I was impressed.
We can see this tactical effect clearly in the match against Bournemouth. By taking up a wide position, Doku effectively pins the opposing fullback. This prevents that defender from tucking inside to help the centre-back, who is marking Erling Haaland. The simple threat of Doku's pace creates a crucial isolation for Haaland in the middle of the penalty area, giving City's number 9 a clear one-on-one advantage. His role is not simply to beat a defender, it's to consistently create an overload on one side of the pitch, forcing the opposition to commit a second, or sometimes even a third player to try and stop him.
And today the impact was, have the ball, drop the teams, and his threat right at my line. Because Jérémy in the final third is unstoppable. He's an incredible football player.
This decision to commit more players to Doku creates a chain reaction across the field. As defenders are pulled toward the ball on the wing, large gaps and passing lanes open up in the central areas of the pitch. This is the space that players like Phil Foden and Ryan Cherki are coached to run into and exploit. Doku acts as a tactical wrecking ball, solving City's long-standing problem of breaking down organized defenses by introducing pure, unpredictable width. He forces opponents to react to him, which is exactly what City wants.
The ability to dribble 1 and 2 in small spaces, so maybe he's one of the fastest players in 5 meters. So it's incredible how he changed the rhythm in 5 meters. But after that, when he's not able to dribble or do that, he takes good decisions. I'm impressed of that. That's why for me he's a great footballer.
Doku's primary function, therefore, is to break the opponent's defensive structure. He creates the space that other players ultimately score in. It's a contribution that is less visible on the final score sheet, but is fundamentally more disruptive to the other team's game plan. This disruption creates the perfect environment for City's number 9 to thrive. How do you make a striker who scored 52 goals in his first season even better? You give him a partner who specializes in creating chaos. Erling Haaland is a clinical finisher who thrives on 2 things: quick service and space in the penalty box. The partnership between him and Jérémy Doku is engineered to maximize exactly that. While many wingers might look to deliver a floated cross into the box, Doku's signature move is different. He favors a low, driven cutback fired with pace across the 6-yard box. This specific style of delivery is perfectly tailored to Haaland's instinctual runs toward the near post and his ability to finish with one touch. The ball arrives at a speed and height that makes it difficult for defenders to intercept, but ideal for a striker anticipating the pass.
We all around him just try to feed him as much as possible so that he can have his dinner, so that he can eat his goals. Because that's what he eats, really. That's his stomach is full with goals. He's hungry for it. He's hungry, and we are his chef. We just want to feed him. So yeah.
Pep Guardiola has explicitly stated that he wants to leverage this dynamic. Doku acts as a crucial release valve for the team. When City's patient, methodical build-up isn't breaking down a defense, the plan can become much simpler. Give the ball to Jérémy. When Doku gets the ball and starts to dribble, he doesn't just attract the attention of his direct opponent, he often collapses the entire defensive line. His direct running forces a second and sometimes a third defender to commit, pulling players toward the ball and, more importantly, away from Haaland. This creates a symbiotic relationship on the pitch. Doku's individual chaos manufactures the space, and Haaland's clinical movement is designed to exploit it. It is a 1-2 punch that combines raw unpredictability with lethal efficiency. The Doku-Haaland partnership has given City's attack a new dimension, allowing them to win in two different ways. They still have their methodical control, but now they also possess an explosive, direct weapon for moments when possession alone isn't enough. As a result, Haaland is no longer just waiting for a perfectly timed through ball, he's actively anticipating the pockets of space that Doku is about to create with his next dribble. While the timing of their connection is still improving, the moments when it does click are devastating for opponents. This brings us to his market value. Doku was signed for approximately £55 million, a relatively modest fee in today's market for a player of his age and potential. However, his tactical worth, unlocking the full potential of a generational striker and giving the entire team a new attacking dimension, is arguably much closer to £100 million. He's not just an individual talent, he is a system multiplier. The reason Doku is often overlooked in wider discussions is that his most important contributions don't always end up on the scoresheet. He is frequently the setup man for the setup man, a tactical weapon whose true value is understood more by analysts than by headline writers.
You know, we did talk about end product and his numbers and assists and goals. I mean, that little wiggle he's got, the Doku wiggle, where he wiggles his backside and he moves inside. He did it for the goal. I mean, that's such a great asset to have, a player that can beat players and create things. And Doku now, with his smiling face, he picks up man of the match, you know, with everybody else's form. I mean, that's looking really good. He was outstanding.
Jérémy Doku is the player whose true value is found in the space he creates for others. He's the tactical key that unlocks Manchester City's evolved attack, blending old-school winger audacity with modern data-backed dominance. While he may not always get the headlines, he is the quiet chaos behind their attack, and the reason he is one of the most feared, yet ignored wingers in Europe. His rise signals a shift, as his contributions are more understood by analysts. So, the next time you watch him play, don't just count the dribbles. Watch the defenders he pulls out of position and the space that opens up for Haaland. That's where his real genius lies.